Today I'm going to do a follow-along handstand push-up session. So this will be ideal for those of you guys that already have a handstand push-up and want to make it stronger, and for you guys that are working towards a handstand push-up but aren't quite there yet. So I'm going to give regressions and progressions as I go. I'm going to work up towards a deficit handstand push-up on a box, and I'm going to show beginner handstand push-ups who don't have a freestanding handstand yet. For a warm-up, just make sure that your wrists and shoulders are warm. Do a few push-ups. Make sure that you can hold a conversation while you're doing them, so they don't want to be too intense. And then warm your handstand up as well. So if you have a freestanding, warm up your freestand handstand. If you're working up against the wall, just do some kick-ups to the wall. Just spend a bit of time there, maybe a chest to wall handstand hold. So what I'm going to aim for with this session is I'm going to try and get 30 seconds time under tension per set. Then I'm going to rest as much as I need to get another 30 seconds time under tension. Now, obviously, if the exercise is harder, I'm going to slow the repetition down and do less reps. If the exercise is easier, I'm going to do more repetitions in that 30 seconds. So I'm just going to show you the different progressions that you could possibly use for this. So a full range movement is the Pike handstand push-up. So with your feet on the floor, so probably the easiest one in terms of balance. So we start with an open shoulder position, come up onto tiptoes, protraction, elbows back, kiss the forehead to the floor, open back up. Now this one's good because you're getting full range in terms of the handstand push-up. Your head's touching the floor, but bad side is that you're not really getting any freestanding balance, and it's closed hip. I could do a similar version with hands raised slightly. Now, if I have it, I could do the full movement. So the normal handstand push-up, so head touching the floor. Or if I have the strength but don't quite have the balance yet, I could do a wall assist, chest to wall facing handstand push-up. And then the hardest one I'm going to go through today is just the full range of motion, so collarbone to the box, handstand push-up. So we have some options now. We could pick one of those that I've just shown and do 30 seconds of work per set on that. The other way of doing it is pick something that's a little bit too hard for you and only do the eccentric component. So if you're doing the eccentric component, you would only count the time under tension on the way down and then a pause at the bottom. Try and keep with these the tempo roughly the same. You can go up a little bit quicker than you go down, but we want the tempo to be roughly the same. And if you're counting the time at the bottom of the eccentric, just count like 3 or 4 seconds, no more than that. So if I'm doing the eccentric on the box, it would be as slow as possible on the way down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a hold at the bottom. So I would say that was about 10 seconds of work. So I would do 3 of those per set. I could do the same with a standard handstand push-up. I could do the same with the one against the wall. Or if I'm still starting, I'm very new to the handstand push-ups, it might be just the eccentric pike. So pick which version you're going to use for your 30 seconds. And remember, you can change it as we go. So set to set, you could go up or down. You might not get the same repetitions each set, but you're going to try and get 30 seconds time under tension per set. Okay, so I'm going to jump in with my first set now. So I'm going to do the box handstand push-ups. I'm going to accumulate 30 seconds of work. I'm going to use my timer on my phone to give me a rough idea of where it is. You could use a metronome. So that one rep for me was 15 seconds. So I now need to do another rep if it's going to be 15 seconds to accumulate the 30 seconds for that set. So that was my first set. The second repetition was very tricky for me. I need to warm up a bit better. I'm going to do on the next one, I'm going to do with the standard floor version, just to mix it up and show different variations. With the first set with the box, I accumulated the 30 seconds. So I done one rep, rested for a few seconds, done a second rep. This time I'm going to see if I can go non-stop for 30 seconds. So you see how that one was a little bit different. I kept going for the 30 seconds. With the one on the box, I done 2 repetitions and I accumulated the 30 seconds. So next one, I'm going to show a different variation. So I'm still going to do 30 seconds, but I'm going to do a 30-second eccentric. So I'm just going to do 1 repetition. It's going to be 1 eccentric, but it's still going to be that 30 seconds time and attention. So there's 3 different methods. I could use the same variation of handstand push-up. So it could be on the box, it could be freestanding, it could be the wall assist, it could be the pike. But I'm accumulating 30 seconds time and attention. One was the eccentric only, one was constant repetitions, one was cluster reps. So cluster just means that I have a rest in between each one. Ideally, the rest should only be around 5 to 10 seconds max. So I've done 3 sets already. I'm going to work up to 5 to 10 sets. So that's what I recommend you do, 5 to 10 sets of work. So things to focus on when you're doing the handstand push-ups is we want to hold balance the whole time. Ideally, we should be able to hold a conversation in any of the points and be able to hold them. So through the path of the movement, you should feel like you have equal weight on either side. So learning to find balance and control to start. Part way through the movement. See, I can hold there. And then bottom of the movement, so my head is light on the floor. So one way of doing that is just focusing on specific parts of the movement. So if you struggle with a certain section, spend a little bit more time. So the 30 seconds we're working with today, you could spend a higher percentage of that time in the area where you struggle to hold balance. So to recap, 30 seconds time under tension, you can break it up. You can do different variations. You can do easier ones, do more repetitions and have them unbroken. You could do harder variations and break the reps up, just do the eccentrics, concentrate on the holds. We're working with that 30 seconds time under tension for 5 to 10 sets. Rest as needed between each one, but you could then make it harder by setting a set amount of rest, or you could superset with something like chin-ups. Let me know if you have any questions, or let us know how you get on with this workout. Send me a message or stick it in the comments below. Thumbs up and subscribe will be appreciated, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks, guys.